in the download section, we are having this download Python 3.114. All right. So this is the first option. We are going to install the setup in our local machine according to your operating system. If you are having Windows, then you can choose the Windows option. If you're having Mac operating system, you can choose accordingly, right? The second thing, you can run Python code and hands-on comparison operators there. That is called Google Colab. So for Google Colab, we are having the services inside the Google opportunity, right? Like if you have this Google, can you go right hand side? Similarly, we have YouTube, Drive, Meet, cloud-based services. Similarly, this is online services where provided by Google, where we are running all our Python code, hands-on practice and hands-on code, right? So the purpose of today's session is to give basic idea regarding the platform where we will be running all our Python hands-on practice. So first I told that this is the offline method, the python.org, where we will be downloading the software and run the command. Second option, we have online option, that is the Colab Google, provided by Google Colab services, and then we will be needing internet for this, and then we can run in the collaboratory. Third option I am going to explore, that is called Anaconda prompts. So inside the Anaconda, we have this free download option, and IDE will give the access a vast library of community content, right? So everything you need to get started in data science and Python, your workstation will be get ready once you download this option here. As you can see, I had already downloaded this navigator here. So this Anaconda navigator will look like this, and out of this entire box, entire options, you will be choosing any one. So like I'll choose in notebook Jupyter. So this will be web-based interactive, and again offline option. You don't need internet for this once you have installed in your local machine. This is the third option. So I'll prefer or recommend this third option, Anaconda Navigator, because it's and so many people are choosing the fourth option, that is Visual Studio. But if you are very novice in the Python or very new in the Python library, so I won't recommend that option. But this Launch or Jupyter Anaconda would be the best suggestion, right? So let me close all these options here. Once you will install this Anaconda, launch Jupyter, this running option clusters file will be opened here, and you can you can see at the right top we have new option and Python IPY, right? So IPY, information Python notebook, right? So once I have created the new IPY kernel, it will look like this blank notebook kind of pages, and this blank notebook will come different cheat sheet also. All right. So with this option, you can go for the entire value, entire certain operators, and you can write your machine learning algorithm, data science. We will be dealing so many options here, and then we can go for the same, right? Okay. So first we will see any doubt till here. You guys can type me in the chat box, or you can comment here. You can unmute yourself, right? So don't hesitate to reach out me if you have any help. I hope you all have a great great perception, right, where we will writing our code and will. So let me give this Anaconda, this one for this Google. Going to Anaconda Python again. So for this free download option, going to _C, and let me write in the chat box, and this is the option where you can download this IDE. So first and foremost, we are going to focus on variables and data types in Python. So for this, we will be needing this option is for code. You can change from this markdown, raw, and headings, right? If you want to create some headings, like suppose I want to protect and I want to make it headings, and then go to this one and heading and this one. So this will be the first heading part, right? So if you will make two hashtag here, so this will be the less heading part, right? So first variable and data types will be there, and inside the variables and data type, I'll discuss variable declaration, right? So variable declaration is a string, and the comment here, if you want to make it comment like which is not compatible or not compiled by the compiler, so you need to encapsulate or start with the this same line with the using hash, right? So this hashtag will be at the starting of your comment section, right? And for this variable underscore name, this is my variable name, and here I'll have on the left hand side I'll have variable name, and on the right hand side I'll have value, right? I'll make it again name, and these are the variables. If you want to add more cell below, you just click on the this one plus sign, and this will be the adding up here, right? What are the basic data types in our Python? So basic data types we have, first is called integer, which will look like 5, right? Second data type we have as a float number, which is called 5.5, and third we have a string is called hello world, and this will be the hello world as a string. And next we have boolean, and this boolean will be either true or false, or in case of none variable you can have none also, right? I just run the code, and just you can see if you want to print this float number, you just paste it here, write it here, and just run this code, and the output will be on the screen. So first number is the input, second point is output for my entire value. All right, this is the operator of value, right? Now I want to make it again heading, and this would be arithmetic operators, right? For arithmetic operators, I'll need some addition here. So this addition will be 5 plus 2. All right. For subtraction, we need 5 minus 2. And for multiplication, you can write something equivalent to 5 asterisk 2. 5 multiplication 2, right? If you were to divide some two variables, so this would be the division part, and this would be equal to 5 divided by 2, right? So let me run this thing, and let me go for the division. This one would be 2.5 in the float variable. So here we are performing division, and here we are performing the multiplication. If you try to print multiplication here, so you will find 5 asterisk 2, that is the multiplication of 5 and 2 is 10 here, right? Now if you want to go for the exponential part, for this we having 5 double asterisk 2. All right, so let me copy this thing and hit run, and then 5 raised to power 2, that is 25, right? And then other parameters, like if you want to go for the like floor division, right? Sometimes we needing for our operations, for our difficult part, so we will be needing floor division. So floor division will be 5 raised under 2 division 2, right? So this would be the floor division, and you can see this is 2, 5 to the 2. If you want to go for the modulus, right? So modulus would be 5 asterisk 2, and let me print this modulus one more time. So you can see the remainder is 1 here, right? So apart from these value, can we have the logical operator? Yes. So for logical operator, we need n underscore operators. You guys can write down all these operators so that we will be using in upcoming sessions, and directly these operators will be using. And for this we have on or operator also, and this is or false, and then not underscore operator equal to not true, right? Suppose we need or operator here, so the two value of this true and false, both, if any one is true, then the output will be true. If you have written or in between the in beyond this boolean function, if someone has a and d and operator here, if and only if both the means any one condition is true, any condition is false, sorry, then the output will be false here. All right. Similarly, not operator, this true value, like this true is not just opposite of this true, whatever the value of assign, so it will reciprocate the given the another value. Like if it is true, it will give false, otherwise it will give true, right? So here we have operators value, right? Other operators we can have, suppose we have comparative operators, right? So what are the comparator operators? Suppose we have greater than, so for this 5 is greater than 2. For let's suppose we have less than is equal to 5 less than 2. Suppose I need equal underscore 2 equal to 5 equal to 2. All right. Similarly, we can have greater than equal to, right? So 5 is greater than equal to 2, right? Similarly, if I can have the less than or greater than, so for this less than and equal to, so 5 is less than equal to, just go for the entire operator, right? If you print all these value, it will print in, as the true and false values. So this was the all about the operators and value. And next part, we have the basic part inside the Python, that is called conditional statement, right? The conditional statements, like for example, we have if condition, right? If statement, and inside the statement, I'll have if, let's say, x is greater than 10, right? Let's say this x is equal to 11, and this f x is greater than 10. So I want to print something on the screen. So this print will be hello if this condition is true. So you can see this is the true condition. The age of any like age of any student is, let's say this is 18, right? So I'm going to define whether he is mature or not, right? If this age is, let's say, 19, and if I'm checking for age is greater than 18, so I'll give, let's say, he is uh and he is an adult, right? So this is the Aadhaar card, or if any particular cross value we can check for this condition, right? Another if condition you can see that if statement, if else statement. So what is the if else condition statement? If I'll use this if condition and this else condition will be right. So else print this value, and in this case I'll write not adult. He is not adult, right? Suppose this he is 12 years old. So I'll print else condition. This else condition is true because my first condition is not true. The person who is going to enter in the let's say the bar or the beer bar or any restaurant and or any amusement park, the that ride is not allowed for the toddlers or the teenagers. So they are going to check this age value whether he is adult or not adult, right? The teenagers are not allowed to ride that ride that will equipment because it is suitable for the higher candidates, like higher means more than teenagers value candidates, right? We can have if else condition also. Let me give C, right? If L, if and else, right? In case if you want to check any senior citizen also, right? So inside the senior citizen, I want to check age is greater than 60 or not, because that ride is also not suitable for senior citizen, right? So I'm going to check whether he is senior citizen or not, right? Then it will go to the 18. If it is true, then it will print the adult. Otherwise, if he is beyond 63, it will print he is senior citizen. So this ride is also not suitable for senior citizens, right? So suppose I am 85 years old. Can you see this is senior citizen and this ride is not suitable, or this bar restaurant is not for senior citizen also, right? They are not allowed to enter. So summarizing part here, you can give so as many as if condition, and this skeleton for if condition is also same where you can go for. Now we can go for next part which is called loops, right? What else? We are in the machine learning era. We are dealing with the machines day by day, and robots and computers are doing the same task for us for very long time. I don't need any person to check my ID card again, right? So what I'll do, I'll write one for loop which will perform the same, which will write the same code again and again, right? So what I'll do, I want to repeat the same task again, let's say 10 times. So I'll write for I in range 10 and colon and hit enter. Can you see this indentation part? This indentation is also applicable here at the starting point. This is called the domain of this if condition. If this condition is true, then the statement which is written along with this indentation will be printed out, right? So if I write the more print function, that can write you are not allowed, you are not allowed, right? So you can see this is printing two statement here. But if you would remove this indentation here, so you can see this is going to give some kind of error, right? So because this is something else, and I'll write this statement just after my if skeleton, and just this entire condition is true. Let's say this is 15 also. So this is not adult, you are not allowed, because this is beyond the if condition here, if statement here, right? Now coming back to the for loop again. So we are going to discuss and we are going to encourage this same task as many as time. So let me this print and I want to say I love you to my girlfriend, right? So I don't want to repeat this is a single time. I want to repeat multiple times. So can you see it's a printing 10 times, right? If you want to print how many times it's a printing on the screen, you can go for the I and then you can see counter along with this statement, right? So what do you think about this idea of Python that you are doing the same task multiple times, right? You are doing the same task. If you want to start your index number from the 1, you just add I plus 1 and just write 1 to 10. So you can see I plus 1. If you want to start this for loop, right, this for loop I plus 1 comma, and this I plus 1 will start, and then this time I'll write I hate you, right? Can you see 1 10? I have written the same statement 10 times, right? If you want to repeat the same statement 20 times, so you can see it's a printing 20 times, right? So this is the test for similarity, that you want to perform the same task using the code block, right? The next code block is while condition, like while condition, right? So what is this while condition? So first you will give to I is equal to 0, and then give while I is less than equal to 10, and then try to print this let's say hello 𝐸𝐴𝐺, and this 𝐸𝐴𝐺 will be printed by this one. And let me increment this y value I equal to plus 1, right? Can you see it's a printing at infinite times, right? Because sometimes I didn't get this value. I just gave the wrong statement here, right? So this is just finite times because I is always less than 10. So you will have to stop this compiler because it is the infinite condition, right? I is greater than 10, right? So let's say this I is greater than 10. I should stop this part, right? So this is not greater than 10, right? So what should I do? I'll just write the while loop I is equal to 0. It will increment the value, and then I should be less than and equal to 10. Whenever this value will be fulfilled, this will run this condition. Okay, so let me write this code here. So let me write I comma, okay, same code times. Stop this time. All right. So this I is equal to 0. I is less than condition, and then we are going to give this, right? So here we have written the entire while condition, and this while condition will have I less than 10. Whenever this condition will be true, can you see this is less than 10, and this is going to halt my hello 𝐸𝐴𝐺, right? Otherwise this condition case I'll write I less than 20. So this hello 𝐸𝐴𝐺 will print 20 times on. You can see this is starting from 1 and will all the times. And the written we have written this this increment condition is also playing important role. If you write this increment value at the last statement, so you will start this condition starting this index number 0, and the last value will be 19. So this is the scope of your variable where you are writing this on low print value or the above print. Implemented part where we have written I plus equal to, this is the shortcut of this one. Suppose I write I is equal to I plus 10, right? And let me one. And in case of this statement, my code will be printed 25. So this piece of code will be printed out 25. So I is equal to 15 plus 10 is the right hand side, and the assignment operator will assign 25 to the I. The new value is 25 now. So the next operator, the next statement will print I here. Now if you will write the same code using the parameter itself, so I plus equal to 10, so we will get 25 again. If you write instead of 10 you write 25, so we will get 30 here, because we are incrementing I by 15 each time. So this was the issue in my code. So instead of plus equal to, I had written equal to plus, which was the wrong statement and was creating the infinite loop there, right? So did I answer your query? Okay, so the next part we are going to discuss here is called function. So inside the function we are going to create like define function value, and this function will have, let's say this function name is Ron. Let me take this Ron as a parameter, right? And for this function value I'm going to write my code block, and this code block will be, let's say, print first session of my Python of data science, right? So just written the customize function and written the customer defined function, and let me recall this function now. And just if you write this code and try to print Ron value here, let me put here, try to print this one. Yes, can you see this is just printing entire value, right? If you can assign something, if you will assign some value to this value, let's say t, I'm going to assign this function call and trying to print tree here. You can see first session of this, and none is because I do not return anything, right? You need to return something. All right, so this is the code block and we to return, let's say 0, right? Put this one is returning 0 to my entire value, right? So instead of this code block, can I give the argument here? So this argument one, let's say this is x, and I'm going to calculate this x equal to let's say 25 plus 15, right? So of course this would be 40 value. So let me print output. So output would be x here, right? So this I'm going to print, or instead of writing anything, let me copy this code here, and let me return this x outside the domain of my function call. So I'm going to return this value, and now let me call this, let's say any value, and this Ron will get some output value. Okay, so let me give x plus 15, trying to one, right? So I'm going to call this one, pass some value instead of x. I need to pass some integer value. In order to asking for the input, you will have to give some 5 value here, right? So this 5 will pass to this ron x. Ron 5 will be readable by the computer compiler, and this 5 plus 15 will be 20, and this will return 20 to my entire skeleton. Let me run this code again, and this t will be ron 5, and print then printed out on the there on this, right? So then we will have 20 on the screen, or instead of print out, you can write output is 20. Can you see output is 20? Instead of 5, if you want to give any other value, let's say instead of 5, if I suppose give 52, so 52 plus 15 is 67. So output is 67 in my case. So this is called function declaration. So here we have function declaration, function declaration, and here I am calling this function. This function I need to call from outside the body, and I am passing parameter here, right, along with the single argument, right? Can I give more than one arguments while writing function declaration? Yes, I can give x comma y here, and let me add all these variable and assign some third variable g. And of course, I'll be passing this g to outside the world, outside domain of this function. Let me run this function declaration, and this result is returned to outside the body, and we are going to ready call our function, right? So perform function calling. So inside the function calling, I'm passing one variable, and the second variable is 7. This is 12. So this is the abstract part. You don't know what is the summarizing points here, what is the what we have discussed so far, what we have written, what we have declared. Only the coder, only the person who has given inside the code is knowing the condition, right? Others are not getting this idea, like what is the coding part here, right? So this is all about the function. Let's begin the next second part. Next part we are going to start for our for we are going to going over the agenda for today's session, that is called the advanced part, and let me make it this heading, and this is called list over, right? So this list is nothing but we need to declare something, right? So for this we had some declaration part of this list, right? So this is called list underscore name, and the round square bracket. Let's say we have some food in our lunch box, and this is called, let's say, apple. My mom packed lunch box in my for my school, right? And she gave chapati also, and like along with the banana. And the second part she just included in my lunch box, and let me give this name as a lunch box, right? So this lunch box will consist of so many different items, right? Third item is, let's say, the weight of this lunch box is how many items? 5. What are the next thing? We just add banana also, and let's say 1 2 3, they just add star along with it, and I also added some water in along with this box. So this is all the element, right? So let me run. So this is called list, where we have so many elements along with the characters, along with the string value. We have integer value, right? What is the weight of my lunchbox? Let's say this is 75 grams, right? So this is 75.8 grams. So this is the weight of my lunchbox. Now I'm going to access the items. So how I'm going to access the item? So let's me give first item. So this first item would be my lunch box 0, right? And let me print first item here, print here. So the first item in my lunch box is apple, right? So what is this last item in my what is the third item in my lunchbox? Print it here. HIRD, third item. So the index value will start from 0, 1, 2. So I'll give 0, 1, 2 here. So the third item is banana and munch, right? Similarly, I want to check the last item in my lunchbox. So this index value will start with the -1. You can give index value as -1, modifying the list item. So you can give the last item is 75.8 by giving -1. You don't need to count the numbers 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? So of course, if you give the last item by give the index number 6, give the correct output, but we can give -1 also. So what's the -2 here? The 5 value will be -2, starting from the right hand side. You are asking from by yourself, what is the -3? So -3 will be water, starting from the right hand side. All right. Can we change the item number? Like the my friend didn't carry banana, he just carry something else. Let's say he just carry cherry. So let me create this lunchbox 2 or C, and he carry another item, call it cherry, right? Let's run this call. So this is going to modifying my list items, and let me run this third item again, and you can see this third item is cherry now. So adding items to your to your list also, you can go for the adding part. So I can go for the adding items. Yes, I can go for the adding parts. So what I do, I'll call the lunchbox here. My list name is lunchbox, and inside this lunchbox I'll write append function, and inside the append function I'll write the, let's say this is called something sweet, right? My mom also had, I forgot to add sweet, so the next day she also added sweet here, right? I just run this. Okay, oh, lunch box, not the lunch, this name is lunch box, right? So if I try to print lunch box on the screen, so you will find sweet at the last, which is just added in my item list, right? If I write the last item -1, so it will give the sweet only, which is the just right item, right? If you want to insert the item number, adding item at the particular index number, you can do also, right? Right item, then text, give let's say 3, 4, comma, sweet, or I want to add some knife. My mom also including knife to cut all my fruits. So this is the similarity of two distinct positions. We are going to add this. So exact one. Okay, insert something, right? So I'm going to insert this thing, and let me print part here. Thing, can you see this knife is just inserted at position 4? So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. If you check the index number for this position, this is 4 starting from 0, right? Can we remove items from my lunchbox or the list, right? Yes, we can remove item from my lunchbox. So I'll write the lunchbox, my list item. So this lunchbox will remove, right? Remove function, and let me move this water from my box, right? Hit run and run this code again and try to print this list. Can you see this water is not removed from my entire value? So here is the point of discussion, like, are we needing this removing items? Yes, if you are certain printing something, then you can remove that item. You need to remove that thing, right? So we can go for the lunch box again, and then we are going to pop this thing. Then if you want to remove some value, so you can go for the pop item, right? Can you see this last item is just removed, right? But see and add more values. To run this same code again, the last item is again pop out. Can you see now 75 it up. So if you want to check the status of my list as of now, you can see till 5, like apple, chapati, cherry, HR, knife 5, all these elements are remaining. But if I run this code or pop up the condition one more time, this 5 is now removed. So let me run this code again. Now 5 is removed. So one by one, you are removing all the elements from your lunch box. So this is how you can remove items from your list by the function. Two functions. First is remove, by to remove particular element, or to pop, right? Can I pop the first element first? Yes, I can pop the first element by indexing value here 0. Can you see apple here? And if you try to run this code, now you can see only 3 elements are remaining. If you are remove second element, you just give, instead of 0, I'll give 1 here. That's the indexing part, and this second part. Run this same code, you will middle value is now, right? The second part, last but not least, called list slicing, right? So inside the list slicing, we have check slice list called, let me find this time, lunch box. For this lunch box, I'll check like my friend lunch box, right? I want to share this lunch box with someone else, right? So I'll give this, if I'll go for the lunch box value, so I'll have apple, chapati, banana. I want to give this second, third, fourth value to my friend. So what I'll do, I'll write 1 and the 1, 0, 1, 2, 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'll give 4 here. So this will exclude the second value, and the 1, 2 value will be assigned to my friends, right? So I'll give friends lunchbox left hand side, that would be sliced list. Copy this name and paste at the left hand side, and this lunchbox will be applied in such a way that my friend will have all the chapati, banana, and achar also. I just created the replica for this, right? So this is called list slicing here, right? Out the basic values. So we are going to declare the dictionary. Let me give some name for my dictionary. Here we have dictionary name. So this name will be encapsulated with the curly braces, and first and foremost we will have any key. So for this key, I'll name like K1, and for the values I'll call it V1. Similarly, for second key, I'll name it as K2 and will give some value for V2, let's say, right? So let me run this code, and V1 and V2, right? Let's say I'm giving, let's say, any value 2 here, and this would be, let's say, 5. Can you see this dictionary name is just declared here, right? So instead of this one, let's say the weight of my candidate is, let's say, around 35, right? And the height of my patient is around 15 or something 5 feet, you can consider, right? So let me access the
Yeah.
dictionary. So how I would access the dictionary, values. So for accessing the dictionary value, let me make it comment here, and this comment will be value, let's say value 1 and then this would be dictionary name. Like, what is the dictionary name? Dictionary diction underscore name, right? And then I'll give the key name, that's WEIGST, wait, and let me give hit enter. And if I'll try to print value 1 here, you can see it's printing 35. So which is the integral part of this dictionary? Like, we are going to accessing this dictionary value, right? So can we assign some other weights? Like, for this dictionary weight, can I give or modify the value, dictionary value? So let me give, let's say 58, right? Now again, I'm going to access the same dictionary value, copy this part, and this is giving the value 1. Let me copy here. This value 1 is just giving now 58. Previously it was giving 35, but now it's giving 58 here, right?
Can you go a little bit up?
Yes.
Okay.
So we have dictionary name, weight 35, height 5, and then value 1, dictionary name, and then value 1. This would be 58 here, right? Now value 1 is now changed, altered my dictionary value. Suppose I need to add the height, weight, and the let's say BMI, that's a body mass index, right? So in this,
Yeah.
so I want to add the items to a dictionary. So what I'll do here, I'll write down the dictionary name, right? So this will be dictionary. Instead, dictionary variable name, instead of weight and height, I'll write BMI, body mass index. So with this VMI, let's say I'll give 6.4, right? Let me run this code. And now I trying to dictionary print on the screen. And can you see, not only weight and height along with their key values, but BMI is also printing on the screen, right? Similarly, so this was the part of remove, this was the part of adding the numbers, right? Can we remove
Yeah.
items from a dictionary? Yes, we can go for the dictionary, like delete function. So delete is the keyword, right? So within the delete keyword, let me give, allow me to give dictionary name here, and dictionary name is just for height. I want to delete my height keywords, right? So I just run the code and try to print dictionary in the next segment. And now can you see the weight and BMI is only printing on the screen. Height is not here because we just deleted or removed this item from our dictionary, right? Now the
Yeah.
second part of this dictionary is the functionality of dictionary also includes dictionary getting keys and values from my dictionary. Can I get keys and values? Yes, we can store some keys. Let's say this is the dictionary here, and let me give dictionary name here, dictionary name, and this would be keys function, right? So let me run this one. And can I print keys value here? Yes. Can you see dictionary key as of now consisting of weight and BMI, two numbers, this one, two keys only. Now, similarly, can I get values from my dictionary out of the dictionary? So I'll name it some another variable. Let's say value is the dictionary value name, and instead of key function, this function name is values. So let me run this code and let me print value here. So can you see this is printing respective value of weight and respective value of BMI, right? So
Yeah.
this is the integral part of my dictionary, right? So let me make it the next heading, and this heading is around rotating around string. This is the next part we are going to integrate, right?
Okay.
Okay, just wait. Uh, can you see my screen? Is my screen visible? No? So in the string, we will be discussing some another functions, and what we have discussed now. Let me finish it here. Wait. Okay, so as of now, we just discussed about the dictionary part. So this dictionary name is weight and height. We are going to part this one, weight and height, and we are going to access the dictionary values, weight, and value 1 is for this 35 because we have it taken this value as 35. Then we have taken the weight as a 55. We modified the weights here, right? And then we just change the value of this weight, and then finally we add some attributes, one more key value in my dictionary. So that's a BMI 6.4. Now finally this dictionary name is depicting all the keys and values here. Suppose I want to remove some items from the dictionary, it will use the del command and it will delete the dictionary name, right? Finally, I'll get two remaining keys and I can get the keys value using keys and values function name respectively. The next topic we are going to discuss here is string, and we are going to discuss this declaration for string value. So this declaration, suppose my string name is something tech lang data science course, right? So this would be string name for mine and consisting so many array of character. String is nothing but array of characters. Each array is kind of character here, right? So this array of character is just displaying all the values here, right? So let me print this string on the screen. You can see Techlang data science course is just printing here, right? So can I concatenate string concatenation? So string concatenation is just giving this string concatenation name. Let's say the last tag, right? Or this last tag is consisting this exclamation sign here, right? So let me run this one and let me add some name value, and this name would be some string underscore name plus last underscore tag value, right? So this would be the concatenation of this entire value. So let me copy this part here, and this one is here, and let me print this name over here. So you can see this Techlang data science course along with the colon value are just printed on the screen. So this is how you can perform this string value. Can I go for string interpolation? So what is string interpolation? We are just printing like any name. Let's say this name is John here, right? And he is greeting some person, some guest, and this is just F and quotes, and this F would be hello, and this would be the hello name, and then the curly braces will be name here, right? So this would be hello and my curly braces here, right? So this would be the greeting part, right? So let me print this greeting one more time. So let me see this hello John. So it's taking this hello John as an input, right? Can I get in name from the string? Yes, I can write the input function here. So from the input, I'll ask enter your name from the user point, and from the keyword itself I'll just asking the user's name, right? So enter your name, so it will ask my name. So it's a printing Sachin, right? Can you see it's a printing hello Sachin, So this is called string interpolation, where we are using f function over here. So we have already some defined string methods here. These string methods are, let's say this is something string length, stringth, string length. How to calculate the string length here? So for string length, we are len, and let me copy this from called C, and this is len, and len will give, like, let's say name, right? So you can see, let me print this string length on the screen. You can see 6. So what's the ingredient of my name variable? This is the Sachin, right? Can you check for the other, this one string name? So let me check this string name length. So this length would be assigned to the left hand side assignment operator, and let me print it on the screen. You can see it's 28. How it's coming 28? Because we are taking count of these values, techlang space data space sign space and then course. If you sum up all these values, so it will just give the count of this 28. Can I give upper value? So let's say this upper len will be string. So whatever the string name were, so string name. So let me copy this string name variable here, and then dot upper here, and let me print this upper length at the bottom. So after execution of this function, we are converting all the small values or the mixture of this small and caps lock, we are converting into the caps lock value. Can I go for the lower methods? So we can convert the entire values to the lower values also, right? So the function for the relevant name is lower, and then you can see techlang data science is just converted into the lower case, right? So this is all about the string functions. Okay, if we do not have any query, so the next topic we are going to discuss, that is called, let me make it heading, and this is called tuples, right? And very important part here we are going to discuss. First we are going to tuple declaration, and this tuple declaration is just different from list and dictionary and set values here. So let me define tuple name, and this will be initialized by round bracket, right? So this round bracket will consist this item. Let's say this item is 45, comma 12, comma 78. So this will include all the different items here, right? So can I access the tuple items using some index value, right? So how to access the tuple items here? So you can give, let's say, first underscore item we are going to define here, and let me copy this tuple name and tuple name value square bracket and 0. So you can see if you are trying to print here this print value, you can see this is printing first value on the screen. This 45 is the first value, right? Can I take the second value, second item on the screen? So last item, if you want to access the last item, so I'll take -1 value. Last item would be given as -1, and this 78 is the last item of my tuple, which is taken from the -1 index number. So from the right hand side, if you start counting, that would be the -1, -2, -3. 45 will have -3. If you will start counting from the left hand side, so this will be 0, 1, 2. 78 will be 2 only, right? So you can access the same item, last item, using the 2, that's the highest -1 number of items -1. So 78 will can be accessed by the 2 values also, 2 index number also, right? So can I go for the tuple slicing? Called C, and this tuple slicing will be done by slice variable. So let's slice variable, and this will be tuple name, and inside this tuple name I'll give, let me create one more numbers here, 15, 18, 5, let's say 29. Let me run this one. Now this tuple name would be, my index number would be, let's say I want to access 3, 2, 4, 3 and 4, two numbers here, right? So these, they are sliced and we are just printing on the screen. This is 15 and 18, right? So these two numbers are just sliced here because they are uh, few sets, they are few given in the range, in the given number, starting an index number, right? So here are some functions and some slicing part associated with the tuple. All right. The next data type we are including in our basic Python is called sets here, right? So sets is also consisting very different part, and first and foremost, let me define this declaration. What set declaration? How to define? Let me give set name. So we will again give the curly braces. So the in the dictionary we had keys and value, as whereas in the sets we are having this set value only, right? So the dictionary part and the item only, right? So let me give, let's say 45 comma 15 comma 88 comma 92. These are set name, right? So can I add items in my set? So hashtag a, and these are given by hashtag the items name value here, right? So the in this method we can add the values here, right? So set underscore name is my set value, and I want to add new element here. So I'll give this just add function, predefined function in the Python, and will give some values. Let's say this time I want to add 10 here. So let me run this one and add set name here, and you can see this 10 value is just inserted at the first position because they are in the sorted element, right? Can I add more values here, right? So if you want to more values, let's say this is 65. So I'm going to print this set name again, but you can see this 65 is at the inserted value, at the sorted value, right? We have just added few elements in my defined set. Can I remove elements in my set value, right? Removing items from a set. So for this, we have set underscore name dot remove, and then pass the value which you want to remove from your item. Let me give this 88. This element I want to remove from my set only. So let me execute this command and let me print this set name. We have declared now. Can you feel the difference here? Previously we had 88 here, but now this is now removed from my set value, right? So this is the integral part of this value, right? So apart from this, we have some set operations for the same. So these operations are like, suppose we have union, right? So for this union, we are going to, like, union set is equal to set underscore name dot union is function, union is predefined function, and this is called set2, right? So let's say we have this, let's see, and this is set 1, and let me create another set 2 with the different numbers. Let's say this is consisting 4, consisting 5, this is 9, this is consisting 2 only, right? So here we have declared two sets only, set 1 and set 2. Now we are going to execute some operations here. First one is union set. So this set is set 1, this is union over set 1 and set 2. So I'll give set 1 first and union over set 2 and try to print union set finally. So let me print this union set. Can you see the first 1, 2, 4, 8 are accommodated or associated with the second set in the increasing order, because this is the set property that they are going to add the element in the same order, right? Second set operation is called intersection. So let me give some common values here. Let me give some 4 num 1 here, right? So in this set operation, I am going to define some intersection value intersect, which are just performing the 𝐷𝘪𝑐, 𝘓𝑣 and set 1, and this is the intersect function. Intersection function, predefined function. You cannot change this function name. You can change on the left hand side variable name, but you cannot change this intersection function, union function, remove, add function. We cannot change these functions. These are predefined. So we are going to find the intersection between set 1 and set 2, and you can notice that we have given some common values here, 4 and 1. So let me print this one. We print this one. We don't have any intersection value here, right? Set 1 and set 2. Okay, can I give set? Okay, did I? Oh, I didn't run this. So let's run this one. Can you see? It's uh, fetching only common values from set 1 and set 2 respectively. This is how we are going to difference the same value. Can I find some another instructions here inside the set? Yes, this set operation is called difference. So let me give this difference value, and this difference is 𝐷𝑒𝑟𝑒𝑛𝐶e. So this difference is set 1 and set 2. So let me give this difference. Can you see? This 45, 15, 88 is taken from the set 1, but this 4142 common portion from the set 2 is deducted or the reduced from set 1. This is the set 1 over set 2 difference. But can I do this difference in the reciprocal order? So I'll give for set 2 and go for set 1. Now you will find 2 and 8. Why? Because from 2 and 8, 4, 1, we are deducting 4, 1 from the set 1, which is the difference operation from these two operations, right? So this is how we are going to perform the set operation here, right? Okay. So the next topic, which is very much important here, we are going to discuss is called, let me make it heading, and this is called list comprehension, right? So this list comprehension is taken from creating a list from an existing value, right? So let me write it down here. So this is going to one, and this is just creating list score. This list is just expression from the given value. So let me have this list value. List 1 is, let's say this is consisting 1 comma 3 comma 2 comma 5 comma 6 comma 7 4 7 8 9 and then 10, some even and odd numbers. Now can I take expression values, right? So let me take x percentage 2 for I, sorry, for I in list 1, right? And also printing this new list element, right? X percentage 2 for I, x is not defined. Okay, I percentage x, right? This is list 1 and this is list 2. I miss this silly mistake is like, so I am giving I am writing 1 percentage 2 instead of I should write I percentage 2 for I this one, right? So this would be for I percentage 2 in this one, right? So this would be x value, right? So for this one, let me give this number value like I multiplication 2, right? So can you see all the numbers are just multiply with the values, right? So they are just multiply by 2 when you are writing these some values here, right? So if you want to give the exponential value here, so let's give the exponential here. So we are writing this code. Can you see 1 raised to power 1, raised to power 2, 1, 3 raised to power 2, 9, 2 raised to power 4, 12 raised to power 2, 144. This is giving square of each element, which is the new list for our value. Can I give some condition value? So conditionally creating a new list. Can I go for this term? Yes, we can go in either way. Like, so we are going to creating a list, and this is just I. I'm just extracting this I for I in list if this I percentage 2 equal to 0, right? So let me give this one, and you can see all the values are just extracted. Those are even only 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, right? If you want to extract the odd numbers from the existing one, so you will write that I for I in this one x percentage 2 not equal to 0, which means you are getting the remainder 1. So you can see 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 is just the odd numbers we are getting the value here, right? So these are the expression for items in the existing list along with the list condition, right? Okay. So at the last we have the module list. Let me give it this one. So this is the part. So let me this one. So how to create the modules and packages. So suppose you want to import any package. Let's say I'm going to import this import math, right? So I'll write import math from this one, right? And if you want to import suppose some specific function, so I'll write import. So for importing a specific function from a module, the syntax is one from math import. Let's say I'm going to import sqrt function, right? So this is the function only, function name, and this is the importing part, and this is the module name, right? If you want to import all the function from the given module, importing all function from a module. So what I'll do from math import strict. So I'll write all the functions here, which is just importing here, right? So in this way, you can import so many values and so many articles from the same. So the next topic I'm going to define here is called heading, and inside this heading, I'm going to discuss here class, right? So the class declaration, how to define the class declaration. So this class declaration is like I'll write class. Let me write some let's say ball, right? So this is class name, right? And inside this class, let me define some definition, and this init is just initialize any function name, and inside this init function I'll call first one is self, and the second one is, let's say, the weight of my ball and the pressure inside the ball itself, right? So that would be the attribute of my function name, right? And inside this init function, I'll write for the self dot weight function. I'll write some, I'll assign some weight only, and inside the self for the same pressure, same function name pressure, I'll assign this pressure values, right? So this is the another function assignment inside the def function, right? The another method inside my class, I'll take it as the, let's say this is uh the spring, take like bounce. For my ball, I'll take another function, and for this I'll take the self function here, and this will create the self part. And let me print this something code block here. This would be printing this hello part here, right? So this is the class declaration value, right? Now let me write some object creation. So for this, I'll write some object creation here. So for object creation, I'll write object and then my class name, which is called ball, and inside this class name I'll write the argument 1 and the argument 2, right? Let's say 25.5 comma 57, right? So this will be the creation of my object. Give it object 1, right? With the help of my class ball, I'm going to define this weight as a 25.5 and this pressure is 65.7, right? And how to assign the property here? So for accessing the property, okay, can I print the object ball value? Print. You can see this is called from object ball, and this is the exact uh, storing value where it is going to store this this object and the class parameters here, right? So can I access the object value here for the property? So I'll write property name or the property value, and let's say this is the object 1. For the object 1, I'll write the the weight, right? Give this one, give this one. Can you see it's a printing 25.5, right? So this is the property of my object because we have assigned this 25.5 as the first property, which is the weight of my ball. Can I get the pressure of my ball? So I'll get the pressure value, but see here. So this would be, instead of weight, can I get the pressure here? So I'll get the pressure here, property value 2, and let me copy this one. And you can see it's showing 65.7 value here, which is the second part pressure of my entire volume, right? So can I call this bounce value? Yes, I can call this bounce value by my object 1 and object value. So I'll write object 1 here and we'll write the method name, which is actually bounce here. So I'll write bounce here, which is the method or the function inside the class. These are two, weight and pressures are two properties or two property names, right? But this method name is just bounce here. And can you see whenever I'm invoking this bounce function, it's printing the hello on the screen. So this is called calling object methods, right? So we are taking help of object name, and then we are going to call this function. And before this, we just access the object's property by writing hashtag and property values object 1 dot pressure here, right? So this is called the properties and obvious values, right? Okay, so if we are fine with the class, then we can go for the next topic, which is called MB lambda. And this lambda is very much important, and most of the times are asked in the interviews that what are the options when we are not using the conventional methods, right? So we are going to use the lambda function declaration first. What are the lambda function? Let's say I am giving this lambda uh, teclang. This is the lambda teclang variable. Inside this lambda variable, I am going to assign the anonymous function lamd lambda lamda lambda keyword. With this lambda, I'll have to assign some value, let's say xy here, and within the xy, if you want to add these two values, so you can go for x plus y. And how to print this one? You just give this result value, and you can go for the function name, which is lambda function for my anonymous function, and let me give this 15,78 here and try to print this result on the screen. Can you see it's just adding 15 and 75 because we are calling this lambda function. And how we are calling this one? We are just writing anonymous function here at the left hand side, these variable storing the x and y addition part of this x and y, right? Can I write some complex lambda function here? Yes, complex lambda function, like let's say this, I want to make the power of these two variables, right? X raised to power 2, y raised to power 2, right? Then I want to add these two variables, right? So let me give some small numbers here. 5 raised to power 2 would be 5 raised to power 2 will be 25. 2 raised to power 2 will be 4. So output should be 29 here. So let me run this code. You can see 29 is the answer of my complex or the moderate kind of function, right? But if you do not have this lambda function declaration here, what other functions options are here? So we have conventional definition here. So this definition will call some such in function here, and let write this xy here, and then colon, hit enter, it will give some indentation before it, and then you just pass the this expression here, this expression value, and you can write return and this one, and just run this code. That's it. And try to call this one by calling the function. We are going to storing this lambda, and instead of lambda teclang, I'll give the function name, that is such in this time, and printing on the screen. It's showing the same result. So what's the difference? What are the benefits for this lambda function declaration? We are not assigning any function name. That's the number one difference in the lambda function, right? Second function name, we are writing only one or two lines. There are less number of lines of codes indeed while using the lambda. That's the second part. The third difference is when you are using the lambda portion here, which means you are reducing the space for your compiler, for your memory. You are using less memory while you are using lambda function declaration. This is the third option, right? And so many other compilation time will be less. So these are so many differences we are going to perform while using the lambda anonymous function, right? So